everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Warikoo, a place where we answer frequently answered questions, asked questions about life. Frequently asked questions about life. In this episode, I want to ask a question that has been asked by so many of you and is a very important question to ask. And here's the question. I don't like my job, but I have a financial responsibility, so what should I do? I don't like my job, but I have a family responsibility. What should I do? Now that's a tricky question to answer because this is not a frivolous question. It's not something that can be easily dismissed. I will have to be very cognizant, very empathetic, very sensitive to this point and take it for what it's worth, but this is one man's view. When you ask this question that you don't like your job, but you have a financial responsibility and what should you do? It's kind of telling me that you're stuck in your job or you feel stuck in your job. Or it's telling me that you would want to leave your job but you cannot because you have a financial or a family responsibility. And that's very understandable. That's completely legit. And let me try and break this down into multiple parts so that we dig deep into it and try and see how we can address this. Number one, you don't like your job. Let's focus on just that piece. There's several reasons why you may not like your job. The biggest reason that I have usually experienced is I have stopped learning. I have a toxic culture or a toxic boss or a manager or someone that I don't like working with. My team is not good enough. It's not motivating. It's not inspiring. It doesn't pay me enough or it doesn't respect me enough. And usually between these five or a combination thereof, these are the reasons why people tend to not like their jobs. I always ask myself and others this question when I get or find myself in this spot, which is, when I find myself not liking what I do, I ask myself, is this a person problem or is this a company problem? Is this a person problem or is this a company problem? What do I mean by a person problem? If I don't like my job, it could be that the people around me are making me not like my job. It could be my boss. It could be my colleagues. It could be someone who's making it difficult for me, someone who's making it challenging for me, someone who's not making it inspiring for me, someone who just doesn't respect me, doesn't motivate me, doesn't get the best out of me, and that's just limited to that person. Because I see other people in the company not feeling the same way. I feel a lot others thoroughly enjoying their work, loving their job because they get to work with really smart people or people that drive them, inspire them, motivate them. And it just happens to be that the section of people that I work with are not like that. If you have a people problem and you do want to give it a shot of fixing it, there could be several ways of doing that. But the isolation that you have identified this as a people problem is an important one. It could be a company problem, which means, you know what, the company culture is like that. The company culture is such where it doesn't respect people, it doesn't treat them as humans, it treats them as data points on an Excel sheet or whatever the case may be. And that means that most people within the company just feel this way, but they are unable to get out of this because they feel stuck just the way that you do. They have responsibilities just the way that you do. They are caught up in the loans, the EMIs, the everything that surrounds them and holds them just the way you do. And that is a harder problem to solve. If it's a people problem and it's something that's leading you not to like your job, my genuine suggestion, as hard as that is to have a conversation with the people who are making it hard for you. In my experience, and it's limited, I recognize, but it's worked and that's why I'm saying it, most problems in this world can be traced back to a point of miscommunication. Most problems in this world can be traced back to a point of miscommunication. And it is possible that the person that you think is giving you a hard time, it's just happening because of miscommunication. Not with the intent that the person gets up every morning wanting to play havoc with your life. It's just that they see things differently than you or they are interpreting things differently than you. So it always helps to give it a shot and speak to that person. Genuinely have an authentic conversation. In the sense that you approach that person and saying, you know what, I've been feeling this for a while and it's taken me a lot of courage to reach up to you and to have this conversation with you, which is I'm not enjoying my work. I'm not enjoying my work because I feel that you're not guiding me enough. I feel that you are not convincing or challenging me enough. I feel that you are being very easy on me or very hard on me. I feel that you are not respecting me or giving me adulation that I don't deserve, whatever the case is. Do that in a manner that you're not complaining. Do that in a manner that the person doesn't feel threatened. Do that in a manner that the person doesn't feel cornered. If you genuinely went in there expressing it as your problem that you wish to share with them, it is quite likely they'll be able to see it and they'll be able to appreciate it. And the reason why I think this is possible is, go back to where we started from. This is a person problem, not a company problem, which means that the company in general does not encourage this culture. The company in general does not encourage or endorse this point of view or this individual's point of way. But it is this individual that is somehow in conflict with you, and thus maybe the company. So if you were to help them through your own problem, it is quite likely that they will appreciate it rather than reprimand you. It is of course possible that this person becomes an even worse person than they were before, and they just make life horrible for you. But that's, in my opinion, a trade-off you should sign up with. And it is quite unlikely that that will be the circumstance, because you would have approached it through your problem being stated, not that person being a problem. Now, if it's a company problem, I don't think there's a solution. The only solution then is you convincing yourself that this is the company you just have to stay with, and you have no choice because you have the financial responsibility and there's nothing that you can do with it. We will come back to that later. But that's the part of I don't like my job. Try and find out why. Try and find out what's leading to it. Try and find out what is it that's not working. A third and possible scenario of why you don't like your job could be you. It could be that you are in the wrong industry. It could be that you are in the wrong setup, in the wrong function, in the wrong something that you thought might work for you early on but doesn't work for you anymore. In that case, it is again important for you to ask whether it's a company or a person-driven issue, or could be. If you find that the company is great but you're in the wrong function, it's quite possible that you will go and have a conversation with someone who can help make that change for you into another function, and it works out. It's quite possible that you were to go authentically and state that here is something that I want to consider because I'm not being the best value to this company in this current role, and I would want to think and consider something else. And the company will be like, sure, we can consider it because ABC. They definitely don't want an employee just sticking around there, not producing any value just because they're there. Because at the end of it, it's a cost to the company. But if you were to go in, admit that you're not being the best here, and there is another function where you think you can be, that might just work. Now let's go to the other thing. You have financial responsibilities. And you do. You can't run away from that. That's something that is there. Now here's something that helped me a lot. And this is a question I ask myself time and again whenever I'm stuck in a difficult situation. And that is, what do I want from life right now the most? What do I want from life the most right now in the moment of time? And let me tell you why this question is easy to ask but tough to answer. It's quite likely that at this point of time, you may have several things that you want from life. Let's start with something that could apply to this situation. You want money because that's the need of the hour. You have financial responsibilities, you have a family to raise, you have a family to feed, and that means that you need money, and that's more important than anything else. My question to you then is money so important that you're willing to work in a shitty boss, in a shitty company, in a shitty culture, not learn anything, but it pays you a lot of money? And it's quite likely the answer is no. It's quite likely that that's not the kind of job that you want. Even though it's giving you what you want, which is money, it's not coming in on the terms that you want, which are other things. So now you go back and say, no, let's try and find out what is it that I truly want in life. And it may be that I want financial security of my family to be the topmost thing. And if that is the reason, then ask yourself, is the financial security of your family so important that you're willing to do everything else that compromises on what you truly want just to ensure that it gives you financial security for your family? And it's quite likely that the answer will still be no. I'm not willing to do all of these things. I'm not willing to compromise on the other things that are just as important. Because here's the thing, and I've spoken about this time and again. When humans do not know what is the one thing that they want in life, the next best thing that they want is everything. When we do not know what we want in life, the next best thing that we want is everything. We want money, we want work-life balance, we want a good boss, we want a good culture, we need this, that, everything. Now, what happens when we want everything? The one thing that we truly crave for, that keeps us up at night, that makes our soul stir, is underrepresented. The one thing that you truly want for, if you settle for everything, will always be underrepresented. And that means you will not feel good about yourself. Sooner than later, you will get that feeling that you don't like the job, you don't like the work, you don't like the boss, you don't like this, you don't like that. And that's only because the one thing that you truly like, you're not getting enough of it. You're not getting enough of it. So here's how you have to think about that. If you feel that the financial security of your family is the most important thing that you want from life right now, you should be willing to do anything for it, which includes working in a shitty company for the time being. But you set yourself a timeline. It is not forever, because not what you're wanting, now what you're wanting is not the financial freedom and the financial happiness of your family. You just want the financial security of your family. A very different thing. Let me try this again. What you want is not that I can give my family the vacation they want, send them to the school that they want, buy the car that they want, the house that they want, and everything else. No. Financial security means there is a bare minimum financial runway and bank balance that I have, which ensures that my family will never die of anything which is closely related to poverty or hunger or any such bad thing. I have ensured that my family will have food to eat and will have a place to stay in forever, at least for the next 1 year, 2 years, or whatever the time frame is. And when I get to that spot, I am not going to chase anything further. I am not going to chase that vacation or that EMI or that car or that fancy watch or any such thing that is taking me away from the main thing that I wanted, the financial security of my family. And the day I ensure that, which will be intense, which will be what you will have to sign up for, irrespective of whether you like the job or not, you will be in a power position. You will be in a position where you can actually show the middle finger to anything else that holds you back, because now you have got to your goal. You have ensured the financial security of your family, and now you get to choose what you want next. And that could be, I want a happy job. I want to work with great people. I want to do anything and everything that I truly want to do. And that might mean it doesn't give you enough money. It might mean it doesn't give you enough financial freedom. But you've already ensured that with your family through the commitments that you made in the recent times. So what you now do is go for the one thing you want. And that is whatever is it that you want. And want so badly that you're willing to give up everything else. And through this, you get to a point where there is a certain time limit and a horizon to when you end your struggle with this bad job, and you then look out for what you truly want from your own life. And that's how I will deal with that. That is how I will go about doing it. It is not about this broad, unanswerable question of, I hate my job, I have a financial responsibility, what should I do? It is to break it up into, I hate my job. Why do I hate it? Is there anything that I can do to fix it? Because the financial stability is real. If that is not fixable, is the financial stability of my family the most important thing for me right now? And if it is, then I will do anything that makes it happen, but then have a cutoff when I have reached there. Have a cutoff where I have gotten to that point and nothing else is more important. And at that point of time, you will ask this question again of what is the most important thing for me in my life right now? And that could mean not money anymore. It could mean something completely different that you want to do for your own self. And at that point of time, you choose that, and you can, because you've chosen the financial security or stability of your family already, and it happened for you. I hope this method or this approach helps you. I know that this is a very general method. It doesn't apply to everyone in every context. So if there is a specific context that you do have, please post that in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer that. I will do my best to help you think through that entire situation instead of just telling you what you could be doing. And hopefully we'll make this worthwhile for you. Thank you so much for your questions coming into Warikoo. If there are other frequently asked questions in life that you want me to answer, please fill that in the comment section as well. And thank you for being a lovely audience. Until next week, I'll see you all. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we put up a new video, you're aware of it.